Hi there, Anchor here again. I'm going to be expanding more on dyspraxia and dyslexia and dysgraphia. This is part 2 of my talk. On this one, I will be expanding on dyspraxia and what dyspraxia means to, or I should say how dyspraxia has affected me over the years. Again, a recap is dyspraxia is a developmental disorder that controls movement and balance, fine motor skills, and various other difficulties with the body. First of all, I'm going to be partly looking over on the computer screen here to help me get the information from Wikipedia and to explain on how it affects me. First of all, again, that as a child, that I was extremely clumsy. Up until about the age of 4, I did not speak. I was late in developing in my speech, and according to my mom too, that I didn't crawl. I went from crawling to running, and I skipped walking. Well, even as a child, as I mentioned on the other video, that definitely was accident prone. And the reason for this is that partly dyspraxias have a spatial awareness about themselves. That spatial awareness, even like today, I could be walking and I bump into something that's sticking out, or chairs, doors, the coordination of opening up a door. Oh yeah, that's fun. It's turn handle, then walk through door. Or a joke that I have about a drinking problem that I have, that I would take a sip on something and then I would start to choke. I still haven't quite got it right. It is swallow, then breathe. You can't do both at the same time. So again, going back to childhood, that my mother took me then to a specialist, and this would have been in the 60s. So of course back then they did not know what they know now about these developmental disorders. The doctors just told her that, yeah, I'm just a little bit behind in my development and nothing to worry about it. Well, that was the beginning of it. They say about coordination, being able to hold things or play. I definitely had a little bit of trouble at a young age of catching a ball or frisbee. Eventually, as I got older, I was able to do a little bit more on that. But the areas that I really were affected, and this showed up in school, is in sports. I wasn't very good in sports, and by that point that the kids would notice that, and they would start to tease you a bit. You know, kids can be cruel. You know, the difficulty getting our bodies to do what we want. Well, I'm not that heavily affected on it. Mine is more on the fine motor skills. Sorry, I'm getting there. The development of it. Speech, as I go again back to, I was about 4.5 years old, and that's when I first started speaking. But then when I went into like the first year, grade 1, that the teachers noticed that I definitely had a speech problem. One thing is I had troubles pronouncing things, and to this day I still do. The other one is that I would mimic. I would say a word, and then my mouth would move to mimic what it just did. So it would be like an echo. So I would say, hi, how are, etc. But eventually that we did get a little bit past, and still through the elementary, from grade 2 and up, that they put me in a special phonics type program, and that helped with some of the pronunciations of words. It helped me with the saying the word and how it sounds. The other thing that they were trying to figure out is they couldn't figure out whether I was left or right-handed, because I kept on switching between both. In other words, I didn't have a common hand. So sometimes I would write with my left and with my right, and sometimes I would write with my left. They found that I needed to sit in a chair that didn't have any arms on it. For some reason, I didn't have the movement to it. Holding a pen, that they kept on trying to, I would have this, the pen arched up like this, and I would be writing like that. And they kept on trying to show me on how to, pardon, how to hold the pen. Eventually that I did manage to get a little bit more control over holding the pen, but even now to this day I still have a little bit of trouble with that. Motor coordination. Fine motor coordination is definitely that there's the shake, or you try to reach for something, and I have a tendency to either overshoot or undershoot. Another fun part is I go to grab something and I don't know on how much strength that's going on to the hand, and I would literally send things flying. Oh, I love that. You pick up something and you go, sing! Oh, that's fun. Now, out of that they were also the clumsy. I have a saying in that I would bump into things and would then turn around and audibly just say, okay, now who put that there? I know it's there. I know, but it's as if it just gets a laugh. Yeah, it's just for my clumsiness. Also, that a while back a friend had said to me that I'm the only person she knew of that could trip over one's own feet while standing still. It is possible. I can do it. You forget to untangle your legs and you get up and you do something, you're going to trip. Now, sensory. That apparently that there's an oversensitivity to sound and fabrics or other sensory things to the body, like light, sound, touch. One of the things I cannot stand picking up a cotton ball. That one, it is hilarious to watch me try to grab it, and I don't know what it just, ugh, and so I send it flying. Or wool, that it crunches under the finger and just, sounds, the extreme loud noises or a sudden loud noise. I would actually have a joke that it's like going up cartoon in childhood there about a cat getting startled and jumping up on the roof and hanging up on the roof. Well, that's what I feel like, is it's that sudden that, and then I go up underneath the roof. Loud noises, as I mentioned earlier, that definitely have troubles with